Here we go, just arrived in the post.
Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. What is it, Alan?
It's my book.
Wow.
An actual copy. Not a proof read, not a proof copy.
Oh my
Not
goodness.
a digital thing on a screen, but an actual. And she smells gorgeous.
Congratulations.
We're imagining all the time, basically. It's not just pictures inside your mind. How you see the world is an act of imagination. So the book basically breaks down how to notice that and cultivate an awareness of the activities of images in your everyday life. So it's very exciting.
I can
Quite
see
moving
you're
to see the new book.
Can you tell us just a little bit about, I know I've been witnessing your journey in this over the last, what, year and a half, 2 years? Just maybe say a little bit about the process?
Well, I've been
Why is it such an
always
exciting
long
moment for
interested
you?
in imagination. I mean, I started training as a psychotherapist because I wanted my imagination back. I was kind of losing that sense of story and possibility from my life. And I figured that training to be a psychotherapist might help. It didn't really. And we learned a lot about how to use images and apply image-based techniques. But how to imagine, like the process of imagining and being imaginative, seemed to be rather taken for granted. So that's always been a research question for me. And then I started to notice that how imagination was written about and the theories about it didn't actually match up with how some therapists were applying images with their clients. So there was a mismatch. So I just got intrigued into what was it that these people were doing that was different to how people spoke about imagination, because there's a lot of theories about inner objects and shadows and the unconscious, and they're theories, they're useful, but they don't speak to the experience. So I've always wanted, and here we are, this is a distillation of like 10, 15 years of teaching, reflection and practice on what is imagination, how to be more imaginative, and crucially, and lastly, you know, why you might want to do that. Because I think the more imaginative you are, the happier you are, the more you're able to change, you not get stuck in old patterns, you see possibilities. Not just on a personal level, but, you know, in your relationships, in your work, in your practice, whatever that is. So yeah, waking
What was
dreams.
the process like of actually writing it? Did you use imagination in the writing process?
Well, yeah, obviously to write, it took me 2 years to write it. Here it is, amazing. Such a beautiful cover. Well, you have the temerity to think you can write a book. I mean, I was invited to write the book and I was like, oh, wow, okay. And you have to get your head around that as a possibility. And then you start to write some things down and you gather together your notes and you see what you've written before, and slowly it emerges. You know, it didn't just come down as a brain dump in a weekend. It evolved, you move the sections around, you get clearer on what it is you're actually trying to say, stories develop. Yeah, so it's very much an iterative process. Like it moved forwards in very small steps, a sentence, a word at a time.
Brilliant, brilliant. And tell us a few words about the cover.
The cover, yes. So I always wanted to have a nice image on the cover. And I'd always been quite enchanted by childhood book covers, and then that's kind of blurred into adult fiction with like Philip Pullman and the J.K. Rowling stories. So I came across this wonderful illustrator called Keith Robinson, and I found out that he also he's got a lovely project called the Liminal Project. So he's interested in being in nature and the images that come to mind that you inhabit in this space between you and the forest or you and the hill. And I thought that sounds like a waking dream, because a waking dream is basically an in-between state. It's the overlap between imagined and physical worlds, kind of like when you're in bed and you're in the dream, but you're also aware that you're lying in bed. So it's like that's what a waking dream is. And he seemed to be exploring that. And his artwork was very sort of earthy, and it had a strong sense of narrative place. So I just commissioned him to do it. I came up with a concept, but this is what he did with it.
Brilliant.
So it's this young woman looking into a kind of portal in the sky that takes her into a waking dream.
Beautiful. What are you going to do to celebrate?
I'll probably read it like 10 times. Read it, send it to some people, and just talk to people about it. I want to share it with people. It's, you know, it's quite a solitary project writing a book. So it's yeah, I want to interact with readers in whatever shape and form. Yeah.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Thanks, Jen.
It's been a labor of love, and so excited for you to share your wisdom with the
Cool.
world. Very important. Congrats.
Waking Dreams out on the 1st September.